Hi. So this is going to be the first Residence Life live stream. Please put in the chat if you cannot hear. But this is going to be the first Residence Life live stream for Barton College. We're just going to be going over contracts, roommates, selection, and exemptions, just to kind of give a broad overview of all of our selection information for those coming back in the fall of 2024. So first things first, let me get my screen shared so that we can start going over the information. Okay, so this is the screen. And again, put in the chat if you can't see, please. But this is the screen that every student will see for their housing portal. So we're first going to start in the student housing portal. We're going to be Tiff Test today. Her name is Tiffany. We call her affectionately in Residence Life Tiff. So that's who we're going to be today. The first thing we want to do as Tiffany is we want to complete our housing contract in order to get prepared for selection. So we're going to go over here to this side menu, which we're going to go to contracts and forms. So once we go to contracts and forms, we're going to want to open the returning student housing contract first wave. So this is because Tiffany is a senior. So she is going to be an upcoming senior in the fall. So she's going to be part of our first wave of selections. So her housing contract will say first wave. So she's going to complete that. Here you can see you can review the contract here by opening it. You'll need the Adobe Reader in order to do so. At this time, we won't be reviewing the contract, but that is where you will find that. And then once you have reviewed the contract, which we highly, highly recommend that you review the contract prior to signing, your student will go in here, or you as a student will go in here and enter your full name in order to give consent. You can also use the signature pad, but this will work just as well. This is a legally binding signature. So we'll just sign it for Tiffany. Typically, you would want to put your full legal name. Just for funsies, we're going to put Tiff here. So she will press continue. It will open up this GradGuard page. So a lot of students have questions about this. This page is just showing you an option when it comes to renter's insurance for living on campus. We do have a partner with GradGuard that is seamlessly attached to the housing contract. So you can just opt in here. It's recommended but not required. So if you're not interested, you can decline, but we do encourage that you get renter's insurance, whether through GradGuard or another program. So right today, Tiffany's going to decline. Again, it's going to go over some information about renter's insurance, some things to know about renter's insurance on campus. In your contract, it is stated that if you do not have renter's insurance, any losses of property due to flood, fire, or other acts of God in that sense, or theft are not covered by the college. So that is why we encourage students to have renter's insurance. So you're going to continue with the application. Here you'll see she needs to provide a mobile phone number. Because Tiffany is a fake character, we're just going to put some zeros here. This is what we recommend for all international students. If you do not want to provide your international number and you do not have a United States number, you can fill this with zeros because it is required, but we do need numbers from every student that lives in the States. So, and then just updating all of this, the preferred name is not required. So then you'll need to do your addresses and contacts. As you can see here, Tiffany's mother's name is Nicole, and it's her emergency and missing person contact. Both are required. Once that's complete, you can submit, and it'll say thank you for submitting. And now we're done doing our housing contract. So we can go back to the home page. As you can see, now that she's finished that housing contract, she's been filtered into a room selection. Before we move on to room selection, are there any questions in the chat? No. Okay. So she has been filtered into a room selection. Now, before Tiffany wants to participate in the room selection, she'll probably want to pick a roommate. And so Tiffany does have a friend named Sally. Sally's student. So she's going to go to her roommates. And as you can see, there's no roommate selection listed. That is because she's in the current term of spring 2024. So she's going to want to change her term to fall 2024. Once she's done that, you'll see right here, this search for roommate has popped up. So she'll open that, and her friend's name is Sally. So she's going to search for Sally. As you can see, it says 0 results. So Tiffany might be asking, why is Sally not popping up? I know that she goes here. I know that she wants to be my roommate. Why is Sally not popping up on my roommate search? And that would be because Sally has not done her housing contract. So we'll go over to Sally. So now we're Sally, and we can go to her contracts and forms. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go in the back end of our stuff and just mark her contract as complete. So we'll have that marked as today complete, and we'll just save that application. So now she's just marked as complete. So then in Tiffany's, if we go home, back to roommates, which is a quick way to refresh, and we go to search, now that we type Sally, we'll be able to find Sally. So if you are looking for someone you are looking to roommate with and they are not popping up, odds are they have not completed their housing contract, because you cannot participate in a housing selection process without having first completed a housing contract. At this time, the housing contract is not open, but it will open very, very soon, hopefully by the end of this month. So now that Sally is here, Tiffany can request Sally as her roommate. So she just sent out a request, as you can see up here at the top under roommate requests. It is in yellow. The reason it is in yellow is because it says unmatched roommates. It means that Sally has not requested Tiffany. So now we can go over to Sally, which we'll do a quick refresh. So if we go over to the roommates, as you can see, once again, we're in spring 2024, so nothing is showing. So we'll need to go over to fall 2024. The pending roommate requests is now 1, which means that you can see right here, Tiffany has requested Sally. So we can go over here, and right here you see view, email, match, or decline. So these are all your options. Sally does want to be roommates with Tiffany, so she will press the match option. So now you'll see it is no longer yellow, and it says your roommate group is fully matched. So if we go over to Tiffany and we do a refresh, you can now see on her side as well, it says it's fully matched. As you can see, that is pretty instantaneous. It takes no time to update. As long as everything is done properly, it should be updated fully. Now, Tiffany wants to participate in her room selection. So if you're coming from the home, there are 2 ways that you can get to the selection. You can either press this select a room or suite button right here, which it will show your selection times. You can press the select a room or suite, or you can go to my room and roommate preferences, select a room or suite, and do it from here. Those are just the 2 different ways you can do it. So now that we're in the selection, you can see the roommate group is right here, and it is listed her and Sally. And then you will have to select from a roommate group. If you are selecting with a roommate, you will want to make sure that this says your roommate's name, or names, depending on how many roommates you have. You can have up to 4 people total, including yourself, in a roommate group. So you're going to select from the room list. You'll search available rooms, and it will provide you every room that is available. So you can see absolutely everything that's available currently. Typically, there will be a filter here for you to be able to filter by hall. It will only show spaces that are available based on your student or your gender. So these are all the female spaces, as female and Sally are both female students. Okay, so as you're scrolling through, maybe Tiffany's looking, and thinks, oh, I'd love to live on Waters Hall, 3rd floor. So she selects that room. As you can see, it has filtered Tiffany and Sally into bed A and bed B. This is not, it doesn't matter which one. It's both the same room. As you can see, it's just bed A and bed B are just for our logging purposes. Now, if Tiffany did not have a roommate, it could give the opportunity to do this, where it has Tiffany in A and B. As you can see, it will not let us submit that. It is because you are not allowed to select the room with both you and yourself in the room, one of the spaces will need to be left empty. If it is left empty, that means you have a double room, and you are not able to make that room into a single at that time. There are single rooms on campus. Those rooms you're able to select, but if you do have a room that has bed A and bed B available, that means that that is a double room, and you will be getting a roommate if you don't have a roommate in your match. Now, because Sally's in here, Tiffany is going to choose for Sally. So in this case, Sally will not need to participate in the roommate or in the room selection. Only Tiffany will need to participate. Let's say if Sally were a freshman and Sally did not have until the third wave to select, if Tiffany is selecting with Sally, Sally can be placed into a room in one of those earlier selections. It just depends on who your roommate is. The only selection that will not allow, well, there's two selections that will not allow for roommate selection of any kind, and that is the honors selection and the same room selection. Those will not allow for roommates. Okay, so Tiffany is going to submit this room selection, which will then filter to this where it says, congratulations, your room selection is complete. And then Sally and Tiffany will both receive a confirmation. So if we go back to the home, we can see right here under assignments where Tiffany's assignment is listed. It has the dates, it has the room type. This DBL is double. If it was a single, it would be SGL. At any time, if this says DBL, it means that you are in a space with 2 beds. And that is possible that another person, even if this roommate selection area, it says 0 and is empty, that just means someone hasn't been placed in that space yet. It is entirely possible that someone will be placed in that space if it says DBL. It is actually very likely that someone will be placed in that space if it says DBL. Okay, so that's the selection process. Quick and easy. So that's rooms, roommates, housing contract. The next thing I kind of want to go over is just the exemptions, because let's say Tiffany got this selection, but for whatever reason, she's feeling kind of like, maybe I don't want to live on campus. Or even if maybe she didn't do a selection, she just doesn't want to live on campus. This is where you can find that housing exemption application, is under the contracts and forms over here on the side. So she's going to select the housing exemption application, and it will pop up this application. I'm not going to read all of this. I do recommend that if you are completing the exemption that you do read all of this. You just need to fill out the semester that you're selecting, and then select your criteria. So these are all the different types of criteria. These are listed on our website as well as right here. And here in the bold is what is required to be submitted. Regardless of if you have had an exemption prior to submitting this exemption, you will always have to re-upload the required materials. And it will need to be new and updated materials. So if you were a commuter last year and you submitted the parent statement as well as the Google Maps, you will need to get a new notarized parent statement, which you can find on our website, and re-upload the Google Maps link. That is every year. When you reapply, you have to complete both. So once she has decided, she will go in here and sign. So this is just putting her initials. Please, please, please do not fill this out with any sort of other information. It should only contain your initials. Any information that you want to provide to the committee that reviews these, outside of what actually needs to be provided uploaded for documentation purposes, can be uploaded as a Google document, like a Google Word document, which this is the emergency contacts, when you go to upload documents. So I didn't upload any documents at that time. So let's see if I can show where you upload documents. So let me go. You're getting a little bit of a sneak preview on the inside of the walls. So I'm going to delete this so that we can start over and I can show where you can upload documents. If for whatever reason you if you submit it and you have not uploaded the documents, it is very, very easy for us to, as you just saw, reset the application. So if you email us, we will reset the application for you, or you can just email us the documents and we can upload them to your file. So both of those are options as well. So this is all still filled up. Right here it says upload up to 5 files. That's where you will be able to upload your documents. So like, as I said, you can select the documents from here. It's very, very easy to do so. And as I said, it's 5 files. Most of these require 1 or 2 files. So if you have something you want to provide to the committee to review, like if you want to provide a statement, you can have a PDF or a Word document that you can upload as one of those 5 files. So I'm just going to continue, as we're not going to upload any files. But that's how the exemption looks and works. The meal plan exemption operates exactly the same. Any questions in the chat about that? No, I think we only have one viewer. So this live stream will be up on our YouTube channel. So this will be a really good opportunity for people to see everything all in one place. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our good friend Google. Please ignore my Google. So I'm going to show how you can find the quick guide from Google. So right here, I'm just going to type in Barton College Residence Life. And if you just Google Residence Life, it should be this first one that pops up. And if you just go here, you will find our main Residence Life page. If you scroll down past all these things, right here to the 2024-2025 Returning Student Housing Selection Guide, which there's also the new student one as well posted. You can open this, and it's just a document which has every single thing you could ever need to know about our housing selection. And how to reach us if you have questions about any of the things in this document, or if you find something that maybe is not included in this document. It goes over in detail how to do the housing contract, how to do the roommate selection, which we just went over. So it goes over selecting your same room, which we did not go over today, but it is very, very similar to the selection process as we showed. It goes in detail, step by step, how to do so. And it also has the dates. It has the spaces that are not available for same room selection. So these are the listed floors that will not be available for same room. So Water's 2nd floor, 5th floor, 6th floor, all of Hilly Residence Hall, and then Wenger 4th floor and 5th floor. All of these floors should be the same from last year, except Wenger 5th floor, which has been updated, and Hackney Residence Hall will be reselectable. Every space will be reselectable. Wenger 5th floor was added as we needed more incoming male spaces for next year, just to give you some information on why we would need that. It talks about the residency requirement and exemptions and accommodations. If you do need a housing accommodation, you will need to go through our Director of Access and Accommodations, Trina Johnson, over in the Health Center. All of her information is included here, down here at the bottom, I believe. Yes, right here, Trina Johnson, Coordinator of Access and Accommodations. It talks about the honor code and making a false statement. So that should be reviewed. And then the live stream, which we're having today. And then this is our Residence Life Help Desk that will be available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in person. We will always be available during office hours, by phone, by email, and then we will also be doing virtual assistance via this link, which I believe this is a Zoom link, from 9 to 5 on selection days. So that will only be on the selection days that we will be providing virtual assistance via a Zoom link. That's if you're having trouble getting your selection going and you really need help right then and you don't want to run over to the Residence Life office, you can join the Zoom, share your screen, and we'll walk you through it. So that's pretty much all this document is. I do want to talk a little bit about the dates for selection. As you can see, the selections do end. So for example, the first wave selection, which is the students who have lived on campus 5 or more semesters, that will take place starting at 9 a.m. on the 4th and end at noon on the 5th of April. If for whatever reason you do miss this selection and you are supposed to participate in it, the only time that you will be automatically slated into a selection is this open room selection. However, if you have an early room selection, not the same room or the honor selection, if you have an early selection, like let's say you're part of the senior selection, the 5 or more semester selection, if you reach out to us at Residence Life, or come into the office or use any of those help desk links at the bottom of this document, we will be able to filter you into either of these other 2 selections to make sure you get to select earlier than this open selection. But you will have to reach out. We will not be checking to make sure and filtering people because it's an automatic filtering system, but we can do it manually, but we have to know. So if you miss your selection date, please reach out and we can make sure you are filtered into a different selection. That is the sooner selection than this open selection. You may also notice that the open room selection closes on April 19th at 11:59 p.m. At that time, there will be at midnight on April 19th, all selections will close and there will be no remaining selection. All returning students will then be placed on campus, any who do not have an exemption, any who have a class schedule and who are registered and so on and so forth. All of those students will be placed in housing, as it is a requirement of Barton College to live on campus for 6 consecutive semesters. So please, please, please make sure you participate in a selection, as we would not want to place you somewhere that maybe you would not prefer. However, students will be placed and movement will not be allowed until much, much later. So that's all the dates for selection. Yes, for same room selection, as you can see, that is our first selection. That's to ensure that your same room is eligible, again, for the eligible spaces, but is the first selection to make sure that you do secure that space prior to anyone else being able to select for spaces. As we talked about missing selections, if you miss this selection, this April 3rd, 9 a.m. to 11:59, if this selection is missed, you will not be guaranteed your same room after that time. It is possible that you could secure your same room after that time by participating in later selections if it's still available. But if it is not still available, you will not be guaranteed your same room space. If someone selects it and you come to us and say, hey, I'd really, really like my same room, I missed the selection, unfortunately, we won't be able to provide your same room to you. So if you are interested in keeping your same room, please, please, please participate in the same room selection. However, if you participate in the same room selection, you will not have the opportunity to participate in any other selections, because you will have already placed yourself into a space. So you will be removed from other selections. Any questions about that from anyone in the chat? Okay, so it looks like we don't have any questions. That was only 30 minutes that it took me to go over that whole list. So I will probably just end the live stream right now. And then maybe at 2 o'clock, I'll do it. I'll just come back and do it again. Or I might just end it right now. But to the person who came to the selection, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. What I will do is I will actually go right here and just pull up this Residence Life Help Desk information so you can see it. If you have any questions, you can use any of these methods to reach us. The virtual assistants will not be open until selection days, but the in-person assistance by phone and email are always available to students at all times. So please reach out to us through that because we want to help you prepare for selection. Thank you so much.